Bem-vindos ao nosso espaço, um mergulho profundo nos assuntos mais interessantes de esportes, ciências e temas gerais do momento. Aqui você vai encontrar conteúdo de qualidade, com análises empolgantes e descobertas fascinantes que vão expandir seus horizontes. Nossa missão é trazer informação relevante de forma dinâmica e descontraída. Queremos que você faça parte dessa jornada incrível de conhecimento e diversão. Se gostar do nosso conteúdo, não esqueça de deixar seu like e se inscrever no canal para não perder nenhuma novidade. Ative o sininho também. Aproveite!
If you love science, don't forget to like and subscribe. Every night, as you drift into sleep, and every morning, as you blink your eyes open to the first rays of dawn, you're participating in a cosmic ritual that is billions of years in the making. We often think of sleep as a personal, biological necessity, a simple recharge for the brain. But what if I told you that your sleep cycle is actually a finely tuned scientific instrument? We call this concept the Circadian Telescope. It is the biological reality that our bodies are not just reacting to light, but are specifically calibrated to the exact electromagnetic frequency of a G-type main sequence star, our Sun. To understand the Circadian Telescope, we have to look past the surface of our skin and deep into the architecture of our cells. Within the human retina, there is a specialized group of sensors called intrinsically photosensitive retinal ganglion cells, or IPRGCs. Unlike the rods and cones that help us see shapes and colors, these cells have one primary job. They detect the presence of specific light frequencies to tell the brain what time it is. They contain a photopigment called melanopsin, which is most sensitive to blue light at a wavelength of approximately 480 nanometers. This isn't a random number. This specific frequency is a direct reflection of the sun's peak spectral output as it is filtered through Earth's atmosphere. This is where the telescope metaphor becomes reality. Your eyes are essentially biological lenses tuned to the signature of a star. Throughout the history of life on Earth, organisms that could accurately sync their internal chemistry with the solar cycle had a massive survival advantage. If your body knows exactly when the sun is about to rise, it can begin pumping out cortisol to wake you up before the first light even hits the horizon. If it knows when the sun is setting, it can trigger the release of melatonin to begin the repair processes of sleep. This calibration is so precise that it acts as an astronomical clock. But the Circadian Telescope goes even deeper. If humans had evolved on a planet orbiting a different kind of star, say, an M-dwarf or a red dwarf, our biological telescope would be tuned to an entirely different part of the spectrum. Red dwarfs emit most of their energy in the infrared range. On such a world, our sleep-wake sensors would likely ignore blue light entirely and instead focus on deep reds or heat signatures. Our very existence as diurnal creatures is a biological mirror of the sun's specific temperature, which sits at roughly 5,778 Kelvin. When we talk about the Circadian Telescope, we are talking about the way stellar evolution has dictated the pace of human consciousness. However, in the modern world, our internal telescopes are facing a massive problem: signal interference. For millions of years, the only source of 480 nanometer light was the sky itself. Today, we surround ourselves with artificial screens and LED bulbs that mimic this specific stellar frequency. When you look at your smartphone at midnight, you aren't just looking at a screen. You're sending a false stellar signal to your brain. You're telling your Circadian Telescope that the sun is high in the sky, even when it is pitch black outside. This creates a state of biological dissonance. The telescope is seeing a star that isn't there, causing a cascade of hormonal errors that lead to insomnia, metabolic issues, and cognitive fog. Scientists are now looking at how we can recalibrate our internal telescopes. By using circadian lighting that shifts its frequency to match the sun's natural progression throughout the day, we can help our bodies regain their cosmic alignment. We are even looking at how this technology will be vital for future space travel. If we ever go to Mars or beyond, we will have to manually adjust our circadian telescopes to account for the different light intensities and day lengths of other worlds. Our biology is literally tethered to the physics of the stars. We are not just inhabitants of Earth, we are rhythmic extensions of the solar system. The next time you feel that wave of tiredness as the sun dips below the horizon, Remember that your brain is processing a signal that traveled 93 million miles just to tell your body it's time to rest. You are a living observatory, and your sleep is the most important data point in the universe. Understanding this connection doesn't just help us sleep better, it reminds us of our place in the grand cosmic design. For more incredible facts like this, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications.